Okay, so this video is honestly, it's a ton of skating. It's like me and a bunch of my friends skating a bunch of parks. But throughout the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the longevity of scooter games, sort of the scooter end game, how long it's going to last. As a skateboarder, I've seen a lot of like trends come and go. I mean, we all saw the rise and fall of rollerblading, which it's actually kind of cool. It's made like this like reemergence. What I like about it though is it's not like a new trend that like people are picking up again. It's not like a throwback thing. It's like the dudes who used to rollerblade are like getting back into it, and they're in their like late 20s, 30s, and 40s, like just doing all these like grinds and slides and having like the time of their life. And I think that's really really rad. They sort of, so I see some people kind of incorporating like a dance side to it, to where they're kind of like dancing as they're like grinding and zipping around. I don't know. I think it's unique. I'm a fan of it. That dude, Dolphin or whatever, if you've ever seen his Instagram, he's a sweetheart. He's always at Chevy Chase skate park. But anyways, the question is, what's going to happen with scootering? Is scootering going to die just like, rollerblading did, or like, like a pet rock? Is it just like another trend? And I think one of the main things that comes to mind when we think that it's just a trend is like the age of people that were doing it the most. But the thing about that is all those kids are still scootering and they're older. I think a lot of skaters don't like scooters because for a while it tended to be little kids. And still to this day, like a lot of scooters at skate parks are little kids. But I think it's only because it's like an easy access point to the skate park, right? Like it's you can pick up a scooter and ride around on some ramps very, very early on. When I do skate lessons, we give kids scooters to get used to, cruising around the skate park. To where like, riding a bike or a skateboard might be a little bit more difficult. But the thing about that is that's the only reason that they're, little kids in the way, is literally because it's the easiest thing to do. I'd rather deal with a little kid on a scooter than a little kid on a skateboard, because at least with the scooter, there's only one thing that I need to worry about. That kid's going to hold on to that scooter. That scooter's not going to go flying. Whereas a little kid with a skateboard, they just like start kicking that thing around all over the place, and it shoots out. And I was at a contest one time, and I watched a kid shoot his board up a quarter pipe, and it landed on my toe and broke my toe. And I ended up judging that contest instead of skating, and it was really annoying. But anyhow, scootering has sort of taken on its own culture, and it's become its own really big thing. Now, skateboarders, we probably haven't been paying attention to it, but I check in on it every once in a while. And the scooter world is booming. And honestly, to the dismay of some people, I think it's kind of rad. But we'll get more into that in a second. Here's some skating.
Yeah.
Haley, first time using this? Take one.
I'm like filming you and I'm getting really close and I feel like the
So one of the first things that I thought when I saw scootering come out was this thing's gonna die off so fucking fast because there's like a handful of tricks that you can do, right? You can do everyone was doing tail whips. So like, you know, me and all my friends learned how to tail whip right when they came out. We're like, yeah, we're not doing this. Like back to the skateboarding. But like there's tail whips, there's spinning, there's bar spins, and then there was flips, and then you can do like kind of board slidey things. And I thought that was pretty much as far as that could go. I mean, but I didn't put a lot of like thought into like what is possible with this thing. But to me, it looked like, oh, it's like riding a bicycle with less grinds. But with bicycles, you know, there's, you know, the whole flat ground aspect. There's different parts of the bikes that you can incorporate in grinds. And it just seemed like there wasn't much to it. A very simplified bicycle. Skip forward a few years and you realize like, holy shit, there's a lot of stuff that people can do. Like they can do that weird over the head flippy thing. And I'm not, if you're a scooter and you're watching this video, I'm not talking down to you because I don't know what I legitimately don't know what that's called. But they do some over the head shit and they're like grinding on weird parts of their scooter. There's that kid.
Flip.
It's called a brie flip.
Bri flip.
Is there a difference? Is that like the difference between tray flip and 360 flip? Brie flip, brie flip,
No,
bri
I'm
flip.
just saying one of those wrong and one of those right.
What's the Australian scooter kid name?
Justin Carter?
Yeah, that kid. What's his Instagram name?
Or Jason Carter? Juzzy.
Juzzy. That kid, if you get a chance, it's like Juzzzy. That kid is like creating all kinds of like new tricks on scooters, like grinding weird parts of the scooter. And like he also did like, I forget what trick he did down El Toro, but he did like some real hucky shit too. Like the dude's really fucking sick. And he's good at skating too. He can like laser flip and stuff like that. But he has like a professional scootering career, which seemed kind of foreign before, but like now it's like a real thing. I have a buddy he's a authentic like skateboard filmer, and because he pays a little bit more money, I think, or because he can make more money doing it, he'll film scooter companies, which I think is super rad. So he'll follow a scooter on a skateboard, which I imagine following a scooter on a scooter might be kind of hard because you have one hand occupied. But anyways, yeah, there's tons of tricks. I'm still waiting for someone to like half flip a scooter and land on the handlebars and grind on the handlebars and then flip it back. So that sort of went out the window though, like as far as like they don't have enough tricks. They do have enough tricks and more tricks are still being invented. They even got like pegs, like a little extension peg for your scooter to do other different kind of grinds. So it seems in that realm there's enough room for creativity. And I'll get more into it. Here's some more skating. Yeah, I bet. That's sick.
I got like 3 tricks out of that. Oh, you get a cheeseburger.
Ooh, yeah, you get a cheeseburger for that.
Hell yeah.
He said if you land this one, I'll buy you the best cheeseburger in San Diego. What's that, Friendly's?
Hell yeah, and guess who's gonna pay for it? This guy right here.
Yeah.
There's a sticker of your face on her phone.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
struggle with like backtails on hubbas. So today, try to backtail the baby hubba here. I've backtailed hubbas before, but I've never felt comfortable. So like, let me try to just commit to this one first try, even though I'm a little scared. Even if I miss though, and I try to get into it, that's like a big victory for me. That trick it freaks me out. Like a shove it out on the back tail, literally. You jump in the air away from your board and just shove it. Oh my god.
I was not gonna touch you. I was slowing down.
You were gonna touch me so hard.
I was not.
It's about to be touched by an angel. What?
You bring shoelaces? Or?
I brought two pairs. Oh, dude, fuck yeah.
Did
two
you?
sizes. Look at mine shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
You guys.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
You make videos of them?
Yeah, I'll shit talk your shoelaces.
No, I'm not allowed to do brand deals anymore, dude. Like, I'll get attacked.
Oh, that's so funny. Dude,
I'm like almost tempted to just start wearing Cariumas now.
just wear them all the time. Like, no, yeah, best shoes ever. Pretty much saves the world and skateboarding.
Maybe
I mean, in that order.
Yeah.
I've been really sick on switch tail slides. So I'm trying to learn how to like sit on them better. So I'm trying to learn switch tail slide, Mike Anderson style shove out. It's not going too well yet, but.
Now, as an outsider, having an outside perspective of scootering, it seems like with skateboarding, there was like kind of like Hesh and Fresh, right? Like there was the hucky people who wore the super tight pants and just jumped on big handrails. And then there was like the tech dogs who wore more baggy stuff, which is very like early 2000s of me and like late 90s. But that's like kind of how it was. Like you dress one way and you skated that one thing, and that's just everyone kind of followed suit. With scootering, it seems that there's like the launch ramp park kids, like the mega rampy, big flippy, spinny guys. And then there's like the very heavily skateboard influenced people, where they'll like literally watch skateboarding to get like ideas. I mean, not all of them, obviously. I'm sure they take inspiration from their own world. I'm not saying like, oh, like fashion industry takes everything from skateboarding. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Fashion industry takes everything from everyone. Who gives a shit? But they'll like come up with like more technical tricks, more creative concepts. They'll ride like weird rails or find some like bizarre obstacle and like kind of like do some wall ride stuff. It's like really creative stuff, and that's the stuff that I like watching Meanwhile, at the same time, people are like, you know, doing the first like triple backflips on scooters. And there was one kid that I found, he has like one of those airbag things in his backyard, like from the Nitro Circus. I think he actually rides with the Nitro Circus guys, but he does like, I don't know what it is, but he'll be like upside down and spinning and just bar spinning and tail whipping and just like doing as like much as possible. And what's funny about it is it's almost like the roles are reversed. I feel like the people who do that kind of stuff are kind of like the really gnarly big air stuff or the really big jumps are kind of the less cool guys. I could be wrong, but it seems like they're the less cool guys, but they'll make like more money maybe because they have bigger sponsors because they're doing contests. And then like the cool scooterers are like the more techie guys where they're like more about creativity and stuff like that. They're not really going as big. Whereas like skateboarding, it used to be like Zero was number one, Baker was number one. And then, you know, like on the lower end of things, like the more techie guys, like the Blind or like the creative guys, like Stereo was cool, but it wasn't like, you know, as big as these other companies. Now, as far as the scootering economy goes, I don't know shit about that. I don't know how much these dudes are getting paid. I don't know how much the hard goods they're selling, but I also know that hard goods isn't really where the money's at, even with skateboarding. Like, any skateboarder that I know that's making halfway decent money in any which way, shape, or form, they're not getting it from a board sponsor. Possibly a shoe sponsor, but no, like, skateboarding stuff. And then the rest is coming from some, like, random outside companies, like energy drinks or, you know, whatever they can get their hands on. So I'm assuming scootering's the same thing. Now, scootering, you might not like this, but it sort of has become the new skateboarding in the sense that I say this all the time. When I started skating, I didn't have friends because I skated, and now I only have friends because I skate. And like skating is like the cool thing to do, right? Like fashion industry back skateboarding, it's in all the movies. You can see it referenced just about anywhere in any form of media. Whereas scootering, not so much. Scootering's like kind of like the less cool thing to do, and that's where skateboarding used to be at. So scootering, these guys who are like doing this stuff, they're like probably most likely doing it because they really want to do it and they really enjoy doing it. Whereas there's like a lot of skateboarders who even get really good at skating who are just doing it to get attention, or they're doing it to promote their social media, or they're doing it because it's the cool thing to do, or because celebrity X, Y, and Z thinks it's cool. And in a lot of ways, I have a lot of empathy for scootering because that's what skateboarding felt for me in in the year 2000. Like it was like, especially being on the East Coast, like no one really skated. No one really wanted to be like cool with me because I skate it. They were just kind of like, oh, like he's like doing that. And it really wasn't until I was like, I don't know, like 16 or something, where it started getting like more cool, that all of a sudden everyone was like, oh yeah, skateboarding. Like I think it was when Jackass or CKY started getting a little bit more mainstream, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, oh, skateboarding is the coolest thing ever. And I think, you know, I'm not sure if scootering is ever going to have that evolution of where it'll be cool again, but you know, anyways, more skating.
Oh, inward heel?
I tried.
Oh, hell yeah!
Haley.
That's better than the actual land.
Sorry. That counts? I think I figured this trick out sort of.
Hey, you say that, you haven't landed a single one today.
I've only tried like, what, 3 or 4? But they're making...
I'd say at least 5.
off the big hero.
Okay. Got him figured out, he says. Oh, shit. That sounded like it was delicate. Like it was dainty.
Ah! Good. Perfect, too.
It was perfect.
It was beautiful.
I mean,
Not you, Dan.
well, you're just beautiful, but you didn't land it beautiful. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll do one more trick. Shit, you filmed that?
I don't know if I did. And a land for Dan.
Land it.
That's pretty, yeah.
Such a dumb trick.
Oh! Escaleras! Kick turn, hell yeah!
That was awesome.
Mickey Bigger Flip. Or whatever that is. Not sure. Oh. Oh, yes! Nice try! Yes, sir.
Perfect. Primo. Perfect primo.
Yes, sir. I recognize you from YouTube. Oh, sick. So cool to see you.
Oh yeah, man. Is your logo?
Yeah. I love this place. I love the club.
Yeah, so good. My channel's twice as big as his. What
I
the
know,
fuck?
he didn't even look at you. Mine's bigger than
Well,
Dan's too, and he didn't even look at me.
approachable.
He's actually, what is it called when they're like a fake crisis actor? Actually, I paid him.
Oh, did you pay?
Because I knew you were filming, and I was like, you know what? I want to look cool.
You're still mad that I have more subscribers than you now?
Dude, so I literally, like, she wasn't doing YouTube that hard, and I had like a 5,000 lead.
I was doing YouTube hard. I was doing it 4 times a week.
No, before that. Like, when I first started, like, going in on YouTube, I was like 5,000 subscribers ahead of you, and in the past, like month out of nowhere, she just like, you're like over 1,000 ahead of me now. She just blew right past me.
33.7, 33.8 by now.
Never
after
forget.
I just said that sentence, because I'm just fucking blowing up right now.
Yeah, no, I'm like really happy for you. Like, I have no like insecurities about it or anything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Why's your fist clenched?
The blood of man moves the hands of time.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit. Because
saw
I
you
looked at
both
you,
already.
I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that you guys were the same. Oh yeah, I sent it both of you.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know you guys were the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, no, she took me out.
She's like above. Because she's
I'm on
cooler.
top.
She's not Kariuma cool though.
Kariuma's
We're not
sick.
adding that. I don't want any affiliation with that in my video.
Why not? They sent you the check and the shoes and everything. Why don't you want to?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
you're right.
babe,
You're right.
You're on the payroll just as much as I am.
Oh.
What you-
Yeah, I actually wish.
I was paid by
Then
the
I
Barracks.
Oh, right. I forgot you were paid by the barracks.
I was paid by the Barracks. They should have paid me. Fuck.
They really should have.
Yeah.
And that's why they did. Light work.
Damn. I didn't know June
If I
joined the
had some
stash.
Kariumas on, I would have landed clean.
Okay, let's go. Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
I'm not happy. I'm not happy with any of that. I was so far. Like you were there.
Okay, so Haley didn't want to try to film that bowl line. Christian did.
I did a really bad job. This first one, bad job.
Not
This
happy.
time, he's fine with it. I want to film it better. So
Yeah, because I'm just looking at like the tricks, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a fucking Transworld video. I don't care.
this is a Transworld video, okay?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What is this foot? No foot forward? Or no, right foot down for a no comply trick?
This is Kariuma forward. Man. I'm gonna roll in. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, wait, one more time. My bad, Dan's audience. My bad. Damn, I was like, I'm in here. I totally didn't expect you to fall at all because like you don't. So like I'm surprised. I was like,
think
oh,
I
shit.
punched the lens.
Yeah, no, it's scratched.
I tried to smack the tail on the thing and it didn't work.
Okay, this time I'm gonna film it real good. This is honestly more of a trick for me to film good than it is for Dan to do this because he could do it really easily. So, you tired? It's fine. That was way better though. Hell yeah, dog.
fun.
Yo, Transworld fucking, here we come.
Dude, he's over here talking about how he's coming for Spike Evans and Tommy Lee Jones. And
Evans Jones, dude.
And who else is a filmer? Fucking Dr. Squirtle Teeth, dude. He's coming for all your guys.
Dude, I'm in there. Did you see how close I was?
When June told me that, he was like, yeah, I have another Instagram account. It's called Dr. Gimbal Hands. She'll get a film. I like legitimately believed him.
I don't know how you believed him.
Because he's June. He's so hard.
June just like kind of speaks in one tone the whole time. Anyway,
exactly.
So
like he always sounds satirical. Yeah. Where is June?
Like taking care of like kids and shit.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Like what an idiot. Didn't he just get married?
No, he just got proposed.
To?
What's up, dude?
What? Do I see it sticking around? Do I see it dying off anytime soon? I honestly, Haley, what do you think? Let's get Haley's opinion real quick. I'm not panning over there because she's basically in underwear.
I'm not.
Well, she's in her sleeping clothing, and I can't let you see that.
It's not that bad.
It's so bad. There's skin everywhere. What do you think? Do you think scootering's gonna die soon? Or do you think it's like...
soon, like 10 years?
Sure.
Oh, if it does, maybe it'll make a comeback like skateboarding did.
Like it'll die and then come back even like stronger or something like that?
Yeah, maybe.
I think...
Maybe it'll get into the Olympics in the next 15 years.
Yeah, maybe it'll get into the Olympics next year, but even though skateboarding wasn't super successful at the Olympics, I don't think. I think skateboarding died and came back because there was less acceptance of extreme sports, and it became kind of like it was like a novelty thing in the 80s, like it was really big, but it wasn't as cool anymore. The trends kind of pulled away from it, and then it just became sort of this very core thing where it was like, you know, like an underground thing. And that's what made it cool all of a sudden. Like, it was no longer the popular thing to do. Now it's the cool thing to do.
I think that's what scootering's at right now.
I agree, and that's what I was going to say. I think scootering is sort of this, like, I don't want to say, like, it's like this DIY culture thing, like, but it is, like, in its, like, infantile stage of, like, all these guys are doing it because they want to do it, and I think it might end up getting a little bit of recognition. You know, there's a lot of, like, older dudes doing it that are, like, you know, you meet these guys and like, oh, this dude's like sick. Like there's just like some rad dudes who ride scooters. But, you know, maybe it'll, when it does like go off, maybe it'll go off like skateboarding did where it'll skyrocket. But I'm not exactly counting on that happening. But what I do think is I don't think scootering is going anywhere, or at least anytime soon. I don't think there's any telltale signs that it is going to go anywhere soon. I think it's definitely on the upward trend. Like I think it's going to get bigger. And good for those guys. Hopefully those guys can all get paid, because the only issue that I have with scooters is when they're doing launch outs and they do that fucking over the head shit and they don't look where they're going. But I also liken that to skateboarders who are fucking zipping around, not looking where they're going and doing airs out over the quarter pipes, or like, you know, just snaking everyone. Like the same issue that I would have with a skateboarder is the same issue that I would have with a scooter, except for getting hit with a scooter when they do that over the head thing. For whatever reason, that just looks fucking horrifying. Like it looks like it would just decapitate you. Then again, I've been hit in the face with a skateboard, and that also really sucked. So yeah, I would be surprised if scootering dies anytime in the foreseeable future. I'm guessing it'll probably be around, at least in an underground version, as long as skateboarding goes around. But who knows when that's going to die. Since it's on like a very high peak right now, I think it's totally possible for skateboarding to start tapering down again, especially with this Olympics thing that just happened, and like maybe it's going to be on a downward trend, which sounds kind of sick, but at the same time it's just like, ooh, less money for people. So we'll see. I don't necessarily count on that happening, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, yeah, scootering's probably here for a while, and if that upsets you, you're upset.